Hi, everyone. Welcome to my structured activity webinar. This webinar is going to walk you through how to get in 60 minutes of the recommended structure activity for the children that we serve. So I'm just going to start with sharing my PowerPoint with you. So just give me 1 second. We're just going to get right on into this. I'm very excited because, now that we're able to do more things with the children, now that COVID is kind of decreasing, where people are getting vaccinated, it's kind of time to, feel a little more comfortable doing more things with the children. So, with that being said, I just want to say that this is, yes, we have 60 minutes of structured activity and 60 minutes of unstructured activity. And the reason why I want to kind of discuss this a little more in detail or refresh, because a lot of you already know this information, is because children are just not getting this at home. They are with their daycare providers or the people taking care of them for the majority of the day, sometimes between 6 to 8 hours, sometimes even more. And that's usually 5 days a week for the most part. So by the time their parents come and pick them up, it's like dinner time, bath time, and bedtime. So this is like where they're going to get the majority of this foundation that hopefully they will take with them into adulthood to live healthier lifestyles, to have less diseases, chronic illnesses, and things like that, that could even obesity. So obesity, obviously child obesity is still a huge issue. We want to make sure that we establish these healthy habits early on in life. So I just want to kind of mention that a little bit before we get started, because this is where it stems for me. And, I've been working with children for about 10 years now. I'm an RN and a health educator, and I see, how obesity affects people in the hospital. And just making sure that children are living healthier lifestyles early on and are taught how to the right way and are able to be in these healthier patterns early on in life really are helpful. So I know I'm going to keep on saying this over and over again and repeating myself, but it's because I'm passionate about it. So I just want you to know where that comes from. So as we move forward, getting this 60 minutes of structured activity is sometimes a little bit difficult. So that's why I kind of want to go through it, give you some ideas, because it does add up. You don't have to do the 60 minutes all at once. I have a couple examples here, and we're going to talk about them a little bit more. The red light, green light, the Simon Says game, the morning exercises, and zoo yoga. These are just a couple of examples. These are things that you can pull off on Pinterest, YouTube, or just, write it down in your notes now, that these can link to activities and education or your lesson plans that you're doing throughout the day. So red light, green light can go with pedestrian safety. They're learning how to, that green means go and red means stop. So how can we link that to our movement? So have them do, hold up the, we'll talk about this a little more later, but your little green light, you can make that out of a paper plate, and then have them do jumping jacks until you hold up the stoplight. So it's just kind of fun. Simon Says you can incorporate that in your morning workouts and just make it, very easy. And then zoo yoga is just kind of like a nice way to wind children down. But also, if you're learning about animals, it's a great way to link that in as well. And I am aware that not everyone can do physical activity with the children. Some people have issues with their back or other kind of physical conditions that will not let them or not allow their bodies to do that. And that is okay. You can certainly write things down. We can, give them, if you tell a child to march in place, you don't necessarily have to show them that. They might be able to learn, be able to do it on their own, or we have YouTubes. And I will certainly try to work on trying to get more videos out that you can just put on if you can't do it with them, or maybe you're feeling under the weather that day, at least they can still do it. But I'm a big fan of that morning workout. And then the 60 minutes of unstructured activity, that is just their playtime. So it's recommended to do 1 hour of free play in the morning and not at night, in the afternoon after nap time. So that's usually their outdoor time when they're playing. I can't talk today. But, sometimes they can't go outside and play, or sometimes it's too hot or too cold. So you can cut down the time if it's too hot or cold to maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And that'll still add up. And then you can compensate with doing any of these activities that I'm going to show you, or you can do music and movement and things like that. So there's ways of getting it all in. Sometimes we just need to kind of talk about it a little bit. Transitions is a great way to not only be able to add in some extra activity time, but to also help to eliminate behaviors. So a lot of times we have children line up to get ready to go outside, you know, they'll either put their jackets on or someone's, you know, putting away something. And, you know, as the children are waiting, they are exhibiting behaviors. They're touching each other and, you know, all things are happening. So a great way to do that is to maybe have them put their hands on their hips and just march in place. You know, you can give them different verbs. So you can say, you know, march high, march low, like march slow, march fast. So they're paying more attention to the activity and not about, you know, touching each other and all that stuff. But I would still keep them a little bit apart because children do still like to touch each other. It's always fun to, you know, accidentally whack someone. So just try to keep them a little bit apart. But here are just some things that, you know, some examples: swim like a fish. So children can swim, they can waddle like a duck, they can fly like a bird or a butterfly. And you can even have them do that while they go wash their hands, like, or go get me, or can you please go wash your hands? And while you're on your way there, can you fly like a butterfly? And you can link these in, of course, to your lesson. So if you're learning about butterflies, have them fly like butterflies everywhere that day. If you're learning about birds, have them fly like birds. So you're linking in some verbiage, you know, and then linking it into your lesson plan as well. So just like thinking about it in a different way is lots of fun. If you're talking about the ocean, swim like a fish, you know, it's just very fun. Especially if you're talking about bunnies, you can then link that to a nutrition activity and have them eat some carrots. So it's all kinds of fun. So I'm just going to show you this video that I created, and you don't have to actually watch this whole webinar. If you want to watch any of these videos again, I'm going to try to post them up separately. I'll give you that link. But I just want to play this. This talks a little bit about the morning workout. So I'm going to hit play.
Hi everyone. So one of my favorite things to do is a morning workout. So I think this is so great to start our day as adults and for the children. And for the children, it's good for them because this is part of that 60 minutes of structured activity that they need per day. And it's super easy to do. And it could just be part of your routine and lifestyle. So in this way, as they get older, this is part of their routine and lifestyle. And that's really what we're trying to do here, is not only just get in that structured activity, but the reason why is to make sure that they're making healthier decisions into adulthood, and that, you know, this will decrease their chances of getting any kind of diseases or any chronic issues. So keeping that in mind, to pick out a morning workout, there's tons of resources. You can go on Pinterest and pull off something. They have yoga, they have, you know, different verbs you could do. You could do it by your name. There's all kinds of things. You can do like the Head Start Body Start calendar, or you can go on YouTube. I like to just come up with at least 10 moves, super easy. Like, we'll always start with breathing, maybe some hops, jumping jacks. You could do crab walks, you could do stretches. So you name it, you just write it down. I like to write it down on a nice little chalkboard, or you can just write it down on a piece of paper so that the children know what's going to happen, almost like what you do in like CrossFit, for doing it in Child Fit. And started it off really easy. So just start off by having the children stand either in a circle, facing you. You can do it in a Simon Says format. So you could say, Simon says, breathe in and touch the sky. Simon says, blow it out, touch the ground. And you can do that, breathing in and out for a minute and just getting the body warmed up. You can do a couple stretches if you wanted to. You know, you can have the children just like touch the ground and stay there. Or you can have them, you know, do a quad stretch, whatever it is that you want them to do, you do. Because this is actually for you too. Like, you just have fun with it just along with them. It's for everyone. Then you could start with getting the cardio going. So you could start by, let's just say, hopping like bunnies. So everyone hops like a bunny. You could change it up and do one foot and then the other foot. You could do wide and then together. So you just make it your own. Jumping jacks is another good one. So you can do jumping jacks. You can clap your hands high and low. You can go one side, from the other side. So you could do all different kinds of things with it. So you just pick a couple moves. You can march in place. You can march wide. You can march bigger and smaller. So you have all these different options. So just pick a couple. Always end in a couple stretches. There's a little yoga that you can do. I know there's animal yoga that's on Pinterest, which I find really fun. I'm gonna try to post that for you on this seminar, but definitely give that a try. If you have any other ideas, please let us know, but this is a great way to get in at least 10 to 15 minutes a day of structured activity. Hope this helped. Join me again.
Okay, so now you have like a little idea of how to incorporate your morning workout. And again, you can always do this in the afternoon too. In the afternoon, especially after, or if it's you're coming in from an outdoor play and you want the kids to calm down a little bit, you could do a little yoga. Or if it's not good weather outside, you can actually incorporate another workout and get another 10 to 15 minutes. But I have my little board right here. I like to use the board. You can just put down like 10 things. And again, I like to start with like the breathing first, because you like to get the oxygen to the brain. You like to get in that good oxygen, get rid of all that carbon dioxide, and just start, warming up the body that way, calming the children, calming their minds, getting them focused on what's to come, and then start getting into the cardio. So like maybe like little jumping jacks I'd write in, some hops, we can hop on one foot. If there's any kind of gross motor that you're trying to work on, you can incorporate that in there. And you can just, like I said, pull a couple things off Pinterest, or maybe if you're linking something into your lessons, you could put that on there too. You could do it for an entire week. You could do it for a couple of days. You could do whatever it is that you feel comfortable with. That's the beauty of this. But just make it consistent, because it's something that they're going to look forward to. If they this is great to do after breakfast, so they can burn off that energy. And, then they're doing this. They're going to be a lot more calm, we hope, during the day, and more willing to listen. So keep that in mind, that there is a method to this madness. But I want to go, I have another video for you that I created that's going to, actually I made it right in my backyard, just like this one, to just give a couple of examples of some very inexpensive activities that you can make or find around the house or get at a dollar store that can incorporate some of these activities as well. So that is this one.
Hi everyone, welcome to my backyard. Today I want to talk to you about some structured activities that I find very fun, just to kind of help you build a toolkit and get ready now that it's getting warmer outside. We're going to be doing a lot more activities. So here are some things that I like to do to try to get in that 60 minutes of structured time. So 60 minutes of unstructured time, I just want to touch upon that for a second. That's kind of easy to get, right? Because we are required, we usually do an hour of free play outdoors daily, so morning and usually in the afternoon. So that's usually pretty easy, but there's times where it's not so nice weather outside, where it gets a little bit more difficult and we need to kind of think outside the box. So that's where this comes in. Or, sometimes instead of just doing free play, you can combine that and do other activities as well. So we're going to start off by one of my favorites, which is the red light, green light. So let me grab that for you. I almost forgot where I put it. Anyway, so this is very easy to make. So I just took 2 plates and painted them and just wrote red light and green light, pasted them on to some popsicle sticks. You could remake these all the time. So kids could make them during art class. I mean, they're, you keep making them over and over again. But if you're teaching them about safety in the classroom, you can tie this right in, right? Because we're teaching them that green means go and red means stop. So we can take 10 minutes, especially in the morning, which is nice, to just give them some action words. We could say, hey, we are going to hop like bunnies for, until when I hold this up, we're going to hop. When I want you to freeze, we're going to hold up the red sign and you're all going to freeze until I do this again. Or you could give another action word and say, okay, now we can just hop on one foot and, you know, tap our heads, or we can, you know, do jumping jacks, and you just make sure that you hold this up and that they know what this means to go. And you're going to do whatever it is. They're going to do whatever it is that you ask them to do. And then this means stop. So you can make it however you want to do it. You can have themes. You can do it with animals, or you can do, you know, do crab walks and things like that. Or you can actually do, you know, run in place, march big, march small, however you want to do it. So that is super easy. And you can get in like an easy 10 minutes a day just doing this red light, green light stuff. So that's one of my favorites. The other one I really like to do, this is like $1. I bought these eggs on sale and just filled them up with rice. And if you're doing a music and movement, like early in the morning or in the afternoon, you know, each child gets, you can do 1 or 2 of these. They can all have one. And you can have them, you know, go up high, go up below, you know, shake to the one side, then the other, you know, you can go do some fun movements with it. And so they're not only like listening to and modeling what you're doing, but they're getting in a little workout. They're listening to all kinds of action verbs, and it's fun, right? It's something different. So we can say like, how does it sound? We go like soft, or if we do harder, you know, you have lots of things that you can do with it. You know, you can run with it. I mean, I can do this stuff all day. I have so much fun, but just make sure that you collect them when they're done, because these are filled with rice, and you don't, everyone always has that child that's going to pull it apart and rice is going everywhere. So I suggest that these be a supervised activity, and then just collect them when you're done. So, but super inexpensive, lots of fun. Another thing that's great, so I did a little seminar about moving and learning, and the teachers had this amazing idea, and I absolutely just loved it, where they all had buckets and they had their bubbles. So again, this is a super inexpensive activity, maybe like $2 or $3, and one person would do the bubbles, and they pretend to have the kids catch the bubbles. So that's fun in that of itself. You can also, if you didn't have the buckets for every single child, just having them run around and try to catch them is enough to probably get another 5 to 10 minutes with some music. So just think about that. The buckets are also a great idea when you want to do a tossing station. So I'm a big fan of the gross motor stations. You can set these up outside where you can get a bucket and even a laundry basket, and you can toss different things in it. So I have, you know, these really super soft balls that you can buy, again, for like $1 or $2 that they can throw in. Or I tried to blow this up for you, but I just don't even have the lungs to do it right now. So I have to have like my husband blow it up. But a beach ball, again, maybe like $1, go to the dollar store. They can throw this into a laundry basket. So whatever age group you're working with, and depending on their skill set, that's the station that you set up for their gross motor. And again, give them a couple minutes at each station. You can have a tossing station. I love these noodles because you can cut them right in half. I think, again, a couple bucks. Cut them in half, and you can use this as something that they can practice their swinging with. So they can either try to hit the beach ball if it's, you know, they need a bigger target. If they're at the age, usually preschool, where they can do a smaller target, you can use a smaller ball. Or you can, I love the idea of like getting a stocking, and you can put a ball in there, a nice soft ball, and hang it from a tree branch, and you can set up the station that way, and they just keep practicing their swing. So they're getting in their movement. That has to be supervised, though. You know, obviously all these activities are supervised because you don't ever want to leave anything hanging from a tree. I'm always like thinking of safety, but it's a really good activity to just get them moving, keep them engaged, and, you know, they're practicing their gross motor skills. These noodles are also good for doing limbo. So you want to put on the music, and you can hold it out, and you can have them go under it, or you can hold it down, have them go over it. You can like try it different times, you know, change it up a little bit and say what they're doing. So you're going to say, you know, under, over. So they're learning those words, but they're also having a good time, and they're getting in that it was those activity minutes. So just kind of thinking of things in a different way are super, super helpful. And then my last thing that I'm going to show you is the parachute. So the parachute, if you don't have one, that's fine. I got this on Amazon. I don't think it was very expensive, but you can use a sheet too. It doesn't have to be this. And what's good about this is, you know, again, it's something different. You could put on music with it. I know YouTube and iTunes has music, or you can go on Amazon and buy like a CD or something. But you can do, you know, again, fast, go high, low, you can go under, you can sit on it and go over. I like the Choose These song. I don't know if you've all heard of it, where it's called like stirring the soup. So you can get little props from around your house. I know a lot of us have like the play foods, and you can have them hold it and toss in and make like a big soup, and they can stir it by like turning, you know, going around, and just using your imagination, your creativity goes a long way. But they're doing this, you can row the boat. So these are just some ideas. And I could go and I could probably try to show you, you know, some of these in action, but give it a try, because after like just those activities that I showed you, that could possibly be an hour of structured activity. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any ideas, please share them, because we can all use them. Have a wonderful day.
So I love the idea of having a toolkit. I think having a toolkit is so important. And again, you do not need to spend a ton of money to be able to do it. You can make things with the kids. You can tie it into all of your activities that you're doing in your lesson plans. You know, if you're working on numbers or letters, you're talking about dinosaurs, animals, water, on like the ocean. You can pretty much link anything into these physical activities. And you can pick one and you can do that, like especially the pedestrian safety with the red light, with green light. Like you can do that for like 15 minutes. So think about it that way, that you can always link, I'm going to try to drill this in, physical activity and nutrition into your lesson plans. So with that being said, there's also this great calendar, the Head Start Body Start calendar. So, you know, the morning workouts, this is kind of similar to that, because it does give you some things that you can do with the children. And it's something that you will do daily. You can do it at a certain time. Let's just say like you do it, I don't know, after they wake up from nap, before they go outside. It's just a certain time of the day that they are expected in their schedule to do this Head Start, Body Start calendar. You can just Google that and it's right there. So I think that this is a really cute thing. It's in Spanish and English. The parachute, or you can use a blanket or even a sheet, all fine. I love the Choose These CD with it, but you can find music. You can use your own music, of course. It doesn't have to be anything special, but you can get it also on iTunes, like I said, or you can do a YouTube. And there's different games that you can play. So I love, like, you know, the one that's called the popcorn one, where you can throw something in and everyone kind of shakes it around, and, you know, they're trying to get it high up or you're trying to keep it down low. So you're just having, it's silly time, but you're learning different words. You know, you're going faster, you're going slower, and they're following what it is that you're saying. So that one's really cute. Then you can have the children go in a circle with it, and like I said, you go under, over, and of course, like that's just they all get very engaged in the parachute. They do the row your boat, where you're moving your arms and, you know, kind of following a little bit of the action with that, like simulating a boat. And then, you know, you can have the children sit on the colors if you do have an actual parachute, or you can match up, you know, fruits and like play fruits and vegetables on the colors, things like that. And then of course, moving it high, low, slow, things like that. So the paper plates are also an easy activity. So again, just having paper plates, you can do a ton of different activities. I just listed I think 5, but if you go on Pinterest, there's tons more. But the paper plate skate, if you do have hardwood floors, and I feel like even if you had carpets, they could probably do it too, where they can decorate their plates. You would want to probably use the white side on the floor, and then they can just kind of skate around it to music, or you can have them do certain things. So you can have them like skate 5 times and then stop, and then maybe have them do something else, like, you know, have them like shake their arms or, you know, put their arms up high or clap or something like that 5 times. Like there's just, you make it into your own, you use your own creativity, but the paper plate skate is lots of fun. The color recognition, so you can have them color the plates and then you can either put them around the room or you can bring them outside and you can have them run to the red, run to the blue, or skip to the yellow, hop to the green, and have them do different action words to that color. You can put them on the wall and have them do it, on the floor, it doesn't matter. But you can do the same thing with numbers. You can have them, you know, hop to the number 1. You can have them run to the number 2. Once they get to that number, have them do 2 jumping jacks. So there's different things that you could do to kind of spice things up and help them to really understand these numbers, letters, colors, what animals, whatever it is that you want to put on these plates, you do. There's no limitation. Shapes, you can do different shapes. So it doesn't just have to be numbers and colors. And then the kites, you can have them make their own kites, which is fun because they're able to do that during their little art time. And, you know, maybe you're talking about spring, you're talking about the weather and the wind, and kites are really fun for that. So they can make their own with like streamers or string, yarn, however it is that you make it. Then they get to go outside and hold it and run around with it. And it's just lots of fun. So I like that one. But again, these are just a few. We have the Bumblebee Bop. I don't know if everyone knows what that is, but you just make little flowers out of the plates and you either place them around the room or you can put them on the floor or even outside. And if you're learning about bees, you're learning that they, you know, pollinate and they make honey. And so that what they would do is they would go buzzing around bzz, 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 to each flower. So they're getting in that activity. You could do it to music and, you know, they can count how many plates there are there too. So you could just really link that in. So that one's kind of a cute one. So again, talking about the toolkit, I started this Instagram specifically to create a toolkit for anyone, parents, teachers, anyone who is interested in sharing or wanting to learn more on how to, you know, start this healthier foundation for children. And, you know, it's difficult because, you know, what, you're so busy and we have so much going on and it's hard sometimes to search everything. Not all of us are really computer savvy. So I wanted to create a place where I could just kind of post up, you know, what other people are doing just for ideas. And so if you're interested, please, you know, this is my Instagram. It's For the Love of Healthy Children. I would love, you know, to, if you have anything you want to send me, I can post it. I will never put the children's faces in it. So, but the ideas are just great. So, and I love our little community that we have here. So I want to keep on growing that. And also, I just want to let you know, because I've been, you know, trying to connect with all of you, and I know it's so difficult with COVID, but this is my email. Please contact me if you ever want to have a one-on-one conversation about anything health, nutrition, safety related. I am happy to like sit and talk with you. If we need to get a translator, email me in Spanish. I will get a translator for us. And we'll set up a time to be able to do that. And if you really want me to come to your home, I can do that too. I have no problem with that. I have been vaccinated. I will wear a mask and take the precautions. But if there's anything that you need, please contact me. And then again, this is my Instagram. So I hope this was helpful. And thank you again so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. I'm going to stop this. Let me see if I do this right. And